Hello, my MFA 608 students. Welcome to Module 6. Module 6, that's 3 more than 3, 2 less than 8. That's Module 6. Kind of part 2. We did some introduction to coaching last time. Now we're going to be doing introduction to mentoring. And so this course kind of makes sure there is a distinction between the two. Sometimes people use the terms interchangeably, but there is a difference according to this module. Before we get started and get into Module 6, as a friendly reminder, in the discussion board, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, class resources. Remember, by the end of this class, you need to have 5 different sources you have listed. You don't have to post one every single week or every single module, but at the end, and by module 10, I come in here and I say, did you actually do this? So you have to have 5 different sources by the end of the semester. All right, so there is that. Let's get back to module 6. Because, who doesn't love to do stuff like that? Let's go ahead and start with the learning objectives. Okay, so yes, basically we're going to talk about mentoring as opposed to doing writing. And again, we'll do a little activity. It's actually kind of a cool activity. And we're going to kind of redo what we kind of did in Module 4. I'll explain that, and then there's some resources. So let's just kind of get right to it. The module overview. So this kind of talks more about mentoring. One thing that I found was interesting is when it comes to writing, do you need a mentor? No. Well, okay, well then why are we even doing this module, right? Well, the answer is there are people who have been successful that without mentors, and that's not necessarily just in writing, it's just in life. I would dare say that, if you feel like, I don't need a mentor, well, then you're missing out on an opportunity. I mean, I would say, if you ask those who are successful, who've had mentors, they would generally, say them in a positive light. Okay, but anyway, so this kind of talks again about the role of a mentor, and so I'm going to go ahead and let you read through that. Okay, moving on. Module at a glance. Again, we're going to kind of go over this, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on this particular slide because we're going to walk through it in the next one. Here's your readings and resources. So I verified these links work. Again, you get out of this class what you put into this. Again, fantastic information here on mentors. So feel free to click on those links, and as always, the library guide for the MFA classes here. All right, so before you get started, again, I will have another announcement. These lessons, again, I try to do these that they're somewhat relatable. Try to take what we're learning in this class and kind of use them more like as life lessons, where we can take these transferable skills, not only that we're learning in this class with writing, but in other aspects of your life. And if you haven't been watching these additional resources, that makes me very sad because I spent time on that. Well, it's fine. Okay, but I think you're missing out. And again, feedback I've gotten from students that these are generally insightful. And again, they're not very long. So again, find that in the announcement section. Okay. 6.2. Ooh, first thing a lot of students see is non-graded. That means I don't have to do it, right? Well, no. There's a lot of stuff we have to do in life that's quote-unquote non-graded, which then kind of helps us out. So basically, when you click on the scenario, it's one of these cool things like, that Southern New Hampshire does. You just follow this. I don't want to spoil it because it's actually kind of cool. So you just kind of click on next and then kind of follow through that. But again, it doesn't take very long, just takes a few minutes, but it will help you with the assignments that we're doing this week. All right, first assignment is 6.3. All right, so here's the scenario. So imagine if you were, again, a little more of a role play. I'm going to kind of go through this one here. You were on a writing panel at a book festival. I've done this. It's fun, it's exciting, it's scary, but it's cool. Okay, now imagine, here we are. There's a young person on the second row who's asking question after question how to get published. Okay, well, all right, fine. Others in the room become unsettled at the young person taking up all the question and answer time, and others on the panel begin shaking their heads at the audacity of this person. They're not being very self-aware that they just are taking up all the time. But you are intrigued by the questioner, who reminds you a bit of yourself when you were starting out. You think this person has many good questions, and you know that poking and prodding for answers helps authors to take the next fearful step with more confidence and bravado. Okay, so what are you going to do? What do you do with this situation? How do you proceed? Okay, so there's your scenario. So your question is, what are you going to do? what are you going to do in this situation? And this is going to actually be in the discussion board. So you're going to start a thread. So for this one, because this is in the discussion rubric, and if you've done other classes at Southern New Hampshire, there's a lot of discussions. Feel free to go ahead and do this one as a video. You can go ahead and type it out, but you do need to respond to another peer's advice that they would give to that person. So first of all, you're going to post what advice you would give based on the situation. How would you proceed, and what would you do in this situation? Okay, and then you're going to respond to one other person on what they said, and say that's a good idea, and again, you have to take some liberties on what exactly the situation is, but be respectful in this. Like for this and the assignment we're about to talk about, please do not wait to the last minute to post your original thread, because you have to respond to somebody else. If you post your original thread on Sunday night, then guess what? You may not get anyone to respond to you. So please do this earlier on. All right, so that is 6-3. And how do you get grade on this? It's basically the discussion rubric. As long as you've answered this and you've drilled, you've responded to these questions and you respond to somebody else, you'll earn full points. All right, and now 6-4. So if you remember back to Module 4. So Module 4, you had posted you had written a paper in Module 3, your philosophy on your pedagogical approach, and then you posted it in Module 4 for people to go ahead, and then you did it through the critique system where they were able to go ahead and give you feedback. Okay, well, we're doing the same exact thing, except for this time, instead of using the paper that you wrote in Module 3, you're going to submit your cover letter or your promotional material, okay, into this prompt so that people can respond. And please do so, again, as soon as possible so your peers have time to do your work. You've already completed this. You did this in Module 5, all right? So just post it, upload it to this class so that people have time. Again, if you wait to the last minute to post it, then you're not going to have people be able to respond to it, and you're missing out on an opportunity. The grading rubric is the same as we had for Module 4, which is basically did you provide examples of strengths and weaknesses in their work? Did you offer suggestions for revision? And did you do that for at least 2 classmates? So make sure, because I go through this with a fine-tooth comb to make sure you do these things. So you're going to, once again, upload your cover letter, promotional material, and just like we did last time, you're going to use Critique It, which is on the next page. So here it is, Critique It. We did this last time, Module 4. And this is where you are going to upload. You can see that a student has already done so. And again, this is the same exact format we used in Module 4. There is a video in the announcements for Module 4 that walk you through this step by step. Again, please, oh please, when you go to give feedback to a student, you make sure that you pick someone who has no feedback yet. We don't want one student with all of you giving feedback to and nobody else gets any. No, boo, okay? But chances are that you are going to get feedback if you post it early. So if you wait to the last minute to post your thing, then when people go to do feedback, they're not going to see it because they're going to be doing it another time. All right. And then last but not least for this module is, again, as I said at the beginning of this video, you have your class reminder that we have to do those class resources. Again, that is found under the discussions, and that is 1.3. Okay, so we've been over that. I just reviewed that at the beginning of the video. So that's it for this. That's it for Module 6. Again, once you're done with watching this video, go to the next announcement, which has the supplementary video which I have provided. Again, it's a lot of fun, and you'll enjoy it, and it will change your life. All right, if you have any questions, please email me, and have a great week.